how you know you messed up. That's how you know you messed up. That's how you know you messed up.
What's up, everybody? It is your favorite Magister here, Lepidus Romulus Cato. We are about to soldier on through, some De Bello Gallico 5.33. Let's get right into it. The reason that we have that song playing at the beginning is because, as we will see, Titurius is about to mess up. So we have this tomb. Then, at length, Titurius or Sabinus. This can be translated since I chose with who, because this is a better translation. Who had foreseen nothing before, hurried about in alarm, and this ran about. So these verbs are very similar, and sometimes it's a little over translation if you want to go with hurried about in alarm and ran about, and arranged the cohorts. So he's in a tizzy. However, these things themselves, fearfully, this is an adverb, fearfully, and as if, still talking about the things, and as if they seemed, or all seemed to be against or to fail him. So this next sentence is going to tell us why these things are failing him. So this is actually an id quote. It's going to be which is mostly is accustomed to happen to fall upon those them who ponder to seize a plan in the business itself. So that also means to take counsel. It's more literal translation, or more. The literal translation would be to seize counsel or to seize a plan. Literally means to take counsel. So this passage is saying that Sabinus feels like everything's going against him. He's hurrying around, but in reality, it is his own doing. At kota, that's an interesting start to the line because he's used this at and then a noun before. But kata, who had pondered these things, can happen, can fall upon in the journey, and by his cause, he by his cause was not the author. This is a genitive of departure, so he was not the person who decided to leave. He's absent from no common health in the matter, and in calling together and encouraging greatly his soldiers, of the emperor, of the general, and in the fight he exhibited the duty of a soldier. That's another genitive right there. Start off this with a cum when on account of. This means on account of with an accusative. This is your accusative. When on account of the length of the marching column, they could foresee it less easily by themselves. uh, to attend to all, uh, which also which also was to be done by the location. They ordered to announce. That's a little wordy, but that's what it literally means. They ordered to announce such that they left behind the baggage train, um, and they took a stand in a circle. So basically, in this little section, they leave the baggage train. Um, which plan? This is another one where an it is implied. So which plan, even if in such a case, this is a passive paraphrase, must not be criticized. However, it still happened, still fell upon them inconveniently. This is saying that it's not a terrible plan, but it still worked out unluckily for them. For and here's another it that you can add there. For it both it's also an et, so both and. For both it diminished the hope for our soldiers, and it it made it made the enemies more fired up to fight. So a little et clause there, because it seemed it having been done not without the greatest alarm and despair. So this is a little bit of litotes, as Mr. Colin Will said. I know you guys already know that, but figured I'd point it out as well. And beyond this happened, meaning like after this, which it was necessary to be done, such that the soldiers, this means commonly, the soldiers commonly left by their signs. And what that actually means is they withdrew from their ranks. As we know, the signum are the things that the people carry in order for them to know where they are. So they leave their ranks, which this part means which they had anything of theirs, of the most precious, of the highest price. So we'll see later that this is actually talking about them coming back to steal things off the baggage train, but just take that alone for now. So buy from the baggage train, and they hurried to take. So this is talking about taking the most precious things from the baggage train, and they hurried to take. Talking about Kursima. And this is an indirect statement, which is obviously why we have all of the Peri, Patere, a lot of the infinitives in here. And then every subordinate clause obviously has the subjunctives that are kicked in because they are in a subordinate clause. Yes. And so these two ablatives, so by shout and lamentation, all were filled. So that's all the Latin we have for today. Basically, summary of this: Sabinus screws up. He's all in his feelings at the beginning of this. He doesn't really know what to do. Caesar's kind of in this, the way that he writes this portrays him as very clueless and not knowing what he's doing. And they talk about how the soldiers were the greenies, ended up leaving their signi and taking stuff off the baggage train. So overall, mark it as a failure. That's all I've got for today. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe for more content from our Latin class and some other brilliant magisters out there. That's all I've got for you. Stay classy, San Diego.